Good evening, it's Lindsay again. It is August 20, it's August 30th, Saturday, 2025, and I have been reading on, doing some research on the internet as well as reading, and I was thinking more about that man, that whatever, something got me to thinking about a certain individual because of something that I was listening to on a YouTube channel the other day. And the man mentioned that Russell Brand, how he's been, he was accused of various sex crimes, rape, all that kind of stuff, which ruined his career. And I think he was married to that Katy Perry woman, I believe. Yeah, I don't know what happened with those two, but nonetheless, it got me to thinking how these people, because of their status or their celebrity status or whatever, they get away with these kinds of things. Or women or people are too afraid to report it because of the fear and the fact that maybe they're going to lose their status, their job, whatever, okay? Different reasons. And a lot of the times what happens, and I'm talking now about government people that do this abuse towards, sexual abuse towards either kids or women or vulnerable people or just anybody, could be anybody that they do this against, but they abuse their authority because they work in law enforcement or some kind of government agent like an FBI, some kind of an agent of some kind, right? And these people are notorious for being abusive sexually towards women, and it's just a pattern that a lot of them have, and it goes back to their childhood, but they tend to get away with abuse, and they're very much bullies, and they're sexually abusive because it's an ego and a power thing for these individuals. And I was reading about, I typed in a Google search because I wanted to see, and I've researched this before, but I typed in government agent men who get away legally with sexual abuse. I just typed that in a Google search, and I'm going to read what I found. Yes, it's possible for government agents to legally avoid accountability for sexual abuse due to legal immunities, such as a Federal Tort Claims Act and Westfall Act. Ironically enough, speaking of that, I live right down, there's a street called Westfall, like within a couple of blocks of where I live. Okay, that's just a coincidence, but there's a street called Westfall right a couple streets away from where I live, here on Denver Boulevard. But such as a Federal Tort Claims Act and Westfall Act, which protect federal employees and the government itself from civil liabilities for intentional torts committed within the scope of employment. Additionally, factors like inadequate reporting policies, cultural issues, a lack of victim trust, and high thresholds for prosecution can hinder accountability for such misconduct, even when criminal or internal disciplinary proceedings are possible. Okay, well, gee, go figure. In other words, they get away with it. It's basically like plausible deniability. They get away with things, abusing their authority, abusing their position, like they have a badge or they are some kind of undercover or whatever. So this is what they do. This is what a lot of them do, because I experienced it. And I know that this is what they do. How legal immunity can lead to lack of accountability. Federal Tort Claims Act, the FTCA in capital letters. The Federal Tort Claims Act, FTCA. This act generally prevents lawsuits against the federal government for most intentional torts, including sexual assault and battery, committed by its employees. And then the Westfall Act. This statute protects federal employees from individual liability in state courts for actions taken within the scope of their federal employment. That's called the Westfall Act. Scope of employment, in parentheses. The definition of scope of employment under these acts is based on state law and can be broad, potentially shielding employees even when their actions, like sexual assaults, are outside the bounds of legitimate work activities. Yeah. You see how these fucking undercover shit fuck investigators, people working for the FBI, the feds, whatever, look at the stuff that they get away with. And when they get caught and when you expose them, you see what happens? You see what happens when you fucking film these shit fuck idiots like I did? Other contributing factors: inadequate policies and reporting. Some federal agencies have had reporting policies that are unclear, allowing supervisors to exercise discretion and not report allegations of sexual misconduct, as found with the DEA and FBI in past audits, according to a 2015 OIG report. Now, these people are fucking ruthless, I'm telling you. I hate these kinds of men. I can't stand being around them. They are irritating, they're annoying, they're childish, they're abusive, and they're bullies. And that I've never been around one who's doesn't have that kind of behavior ever. And it's just annoying, and and you don't feel safe around him, and you feel like you disgusted, like you feel utterly uncomfortable and disgusted around these kinds of people. At least that's how I do. That's how they make me feel, because of their presence. Their demonic presence alone makes you feel uncomfortable. Cultural issues and lack of trust. A male-dominated culture within agencies like the FBI, in other words, faggot, Masonic, fucking, basically a bunch of fucking bisexual closet gays as well, that hate women, misogynistic fuckheads, like the FBI, can foster problems with sexual misconduct and undermine victims' confidence in the investigation process, notes PBS NewsHour. High thresholds for prosecution. While tools exist to prosecute sexual assault cases, prosecutorial decisions are sometimes influenced by societal biases and fears that juries might not convict, leading to a failure to pursue charges. Internal disciplinary process. Even when allegations are reported, high-ranking officials may receive mild discipline, or some agents may retire before they can be punished, reports PBS NewsHour. So what can be done? Yeah, exactly. What the fuck can be done about these predatory stalker assholes that steal your money, steal your livelihood, ruin your fucking life, rape, assault you sexually, exploit you sexually, abuse you? What the fuck can be done is what I want to know. When you get ignored, and then your life is fucking ruined because these shit fuck sex addict, porno addicted fucking assholes. Strengthened laws. Laws criminalizing staff sexual abuse of inmates, for example, should be strengthened to cover contractors and provide greater deterrence, according to the Department of Justice Office of Inspector General. Improved reporting and discretion. Agencies need clear policies for reporting all allegations of sexual misconduct to prevent situations where supervisors can exercise discretion to withhold information. Focus on accountability. There is an ongoing effort to improve accountability within federal agencies, including a crackdown launched by the FBI in 2021 in response to a sharp spike in allegations, notes the Associated Press. So that's just a little bit. I mean, goes on, and there's a lot more information that you can look into about this kind of harassment and sexual coercive abuse. They get away with this by doing it to children, women, minorities. And they think that, because they have some fucking government, FBI, or some goddamn federal agent job, that they can just abuse and take advantage, right? And put you in a state of victimhood and fear, and living in your own fucking house. And then they tell everybody that you're the one who did it, when in fact, no! These motherfuckers have to be held accountable, or lose their fucking jobs, or get their fucking goddamn badge stripped away from them, is what they deserve. It's horrible, and nobody understands until you've gone through this kind of shit. Like in my goddamn situation, and you cannot imagine how fucking humiliating it is. How fucking humiliating it is to go through that. And then nobody believes you on top of that. They think you're crazy. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. These motherfuckers can't get away because they're little fucking Freemasonic bullshit, witch coven, fucking warlock, stupid shit that they get involved with, satanic, fucking perverted, drug dealing, scumbag fucking piece of shit. You're fucking worthless shit fucks is what you are that do that. Nothing but trash, raised by fucking prostitute, fucking mother, fucking hooker trash people. You are fucking trash. Just like who raised you, Look at who raises them. Look at the environments that they grow up in. And it's no wonder why they fucking behave that way. It's no fucking wonder. Okay? And no wonder they gravitate towards those kinds of goddamn jobs where they can be a fucking bully on steroids and abuse people.